Kim and I have been married for over 30 years, but we started from scratch. People think she married me because of my money, but that's not true. At that time, I was in between businesses and lost my second venture. So, not only did I not have money, but we also had a lot of debt. We had debts of $800,000, which was a huge learning experience. In the end, we managed to pay it all off, but the lesson remains. How do you pay off your debts as quickly as possible? Many people say to cut up your credit cards, but I find that absurd because a credit card isn't the problem. In fact, I really like credit cards. Let's start with the steps to get out of debt. The first step is to be honest with yourself. I think this was one of the hardest things I had to do because Kim had never experienced financial disaster like I had. She couldn't believe someone could drive a Mercedes and be completely broke, pretending to be rich until actually becoming so. I was praying to God, Jesus, and Buddha, hoping money would come, acting like I had no debts. I looked great and ate at the best restaurants, but I was ruined. You can lie to your girlfriends, but you can't lie to your wife. So, the first thing I had to do with Kim was finally tell the truth that I wasn't as rich as I seemed. You have to tell yourself the truth because if you have a goal of where you want to get to, you won't make it if you don't know where you are. The second step is to stop accumulating unpayable loans immediately. Sometimes this means making a small sacrifice. When Kim and I moved from Hawaii to California, we were homeless and lived in the basement of an apartment. Sometimes we had to scrape by because we had no money. Kim only had a couple of dollars to get through the weekend until I got home on Sunday night. The third step is to make a list of all your debts. The key word here is all. Kim looked at me strangely when I said the word all because I had so many debts and didn't want to admit it. I kept avoiding it and paying bills here and there, but she finally asked me why I didn't want to admit how bad the situation was. I called up my last business and finally had to sit down and write to all the investors I owed money to, as well as all the family and friends I owed money to. I felt bad for not paying them back earlier, so she made me sit down and write it all out. Also, a credit card company can get pretty nasty when you don't pay them, so I had to show the letters I was receiving and basically tell the truth and face it. I encourage you to comment if you've ever had a big problem with debts or if you know someone who has. Share your story. Your experience can help those in need. The fourth step is very important. If you're deeply in debt, it's probably one of the most important steps to take and commit to. Hire an accountant. There were times when I tried to do my own records, but when I was stressed, ashamed, and upset about owing so much money, I didn't confront the truth and wasn't very attentive to details. So, Kim and I finally went to talk to my rich dad, and he recommended we hire an accountant. At first, I thought it was too expensive, but my rich dad told me that rich people have accountants while poor people don't keep accurate records. This is the fifth step, and after having a list of all your debts, you'll create a visual picture of these debts. In the top left corner of the board, you'll write the name of the creditor. For example, my Visa card. In the top right corner, you'll write the total amount owed. In the bottom left corner, you'll write the minimum monthly payment you have to make. In the bottom right corner, you'll divide the total amount owed into monthly payments. For example, in the column for Visa, you'll write minimum of $100 per month, total amount owed $2,000, and 20 monthly payments. This means it will take 20 months to eliminate that debt, since the total amount owed divided by the minimum monthly payment equals 20. For each debt you have, you'll create this visual image and review it daily to know how many months it will take to pay off each debt. It's important to check your record to make sure everything is clear. When Kim and I met, we had nothing. It took 10 years to go from nothing to financial freedom. She was 37 and I was 47. That's the power of focusing on assets rather than liabilities. Most people are so busy working for money, trying to pay their bills and buying liabilities they think are assets. The first gift I gave Kim was to teach her this, and now we're financially free. Anyone can do this. It's a matter of putting your head in the right direction. We met in '73, and that's when I took my first real estate investment course. I lost money and gained it back, but I never left the assets. There are many people who can't earn $1,000, and the reason is because mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, they're not prepared to earn that amount. So Kim and I are earning several $1,000,000, but we wouldn't have gotten there if we hadn't once struggled to get to $1,000. So whenever we had a problem, we had to be bigger than the problem. Remember, it's a process that will take you from where you are to where you want to be. If you don't have dedication and discipline, the process will fall apart. I encourage you to share this video with people you know who might need this advice. If you want to continue learning about improving your finances and achieving wealth, subscribe to our channel.